You don't think there can be anything to that? Because sometimes people, they lean toward. But I get it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like they tell you, like your traits are like this, so all of a sudden you're like, oh, I feel like a Taurus because I'm stable, and you like all the positive traits, but no one ever likes the asshole traits. Like according to my
And then
my
and then
little
and then when they do like the asshole
stubborn.
traits, they use it as a crutch. Like, oh, this is the reason why I'm acting this way is because I'm a Libra. It's like, no, you're not. You're just an asshole. You're acting like an asshole. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. I'm a Virgo, and it says that Virgos are neat, and you know me. Am I neat? I mean,
Oh,
I don't. I'm not
um,
a. I'm not a pig. I don't have. I'm not. I'm not a super
you
messy
don't
guy, but
wallow
I'm
in your
also
own
not
filth, but
like
you
uber. No, but there's also in betweens, right? But I'm also like
yeah,
it's supposed to be one of those things where Virgos are known to be like neat freaks, and I'm not a neat freak. I'm like, all
you're
right,
not any
whatever.
freak. You're a freak.
So
You're definitely a
it's all
freak.
bullshit.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, dudes who do that, welcome to the Comedy Fitness Podcast.
I'm
That
a
was a long
super
intro.
freak.
Super freak. Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Welcome to the Comedy Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Don Gray. To two of my favorite things together, comedy, fitness, and comedy. Put them together. Peanut butter in my chocolate, chocolate in my peanut butter. If you're old enough to remember that reference, you are old. Bringing it to you, my co-host, my friend, my
Cups.
buddy. Yeah, please, you know the reference. That's old. Is Nary Signs, ladies and gentlemen. Nary Signs, winner of
Did
several
I
awards. I'm not
ever
going to
tell?
name all that.
Did I ever tell you that story? Did I ever tell you that story with Alex Raimundo all the time?
No, but I want to hear it.
They used to go. They used to go on tour all the time, and you know how when of a bit, you'll say something like, "All right, so I'm gonna say A, B, C, and D. Pause. That's where I get the first hit, and then da, 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 and then I'll go into the second part of the bit. Right? That's how we talk to each other about bits, just behind the curtain a little bit for the audience.
Mhm.
Colin Moulton told me that Alex Raimundo used to tell him, "Go, okay, so I'm gonna say A, B, C, D, and then he added in the sound effect of the cheering of the crowd, and it wasn't just laughter, laughter, laughter. He would actually stop, and he would do it every time. And I just thought that was funny. I just
You do
took
it
that
every
with me.
time.
I'm like, oh, that's funny. Yeah, like, hey,
Oh,
I'm doing this bit. Here's the bit. Pa 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 pa. He would also throw in that.
yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, a little choppy chop. Where are you right now? Where are you today? Oh, yep, I lost the audio too. Am I moving? I think I look good, but I look in general pretty good.
You okay? I hear you okay. It's just me on the other end,
Yeah,
apparently.
technical difficulties, things happen, but the topics we're going to talk about today, though. First of all, how you feeling? You're looking good, man. I think we're the number one podcast in the world that highlights your fitness journey.
Yeah,
So we're number
because
one.
it would be the only podcast in the world.
You didn't have to say
I'm
that.
actually trying to lose
Adding that is that's just rude. Adding that is just
another five
you're
pounds,
diminishing.
maybe 10 pounds. I'm at 220, and I want to get back down to 210. 210 is my comfortable level. 215. Paying attention to my weight in 6 months, 7 months. So, but I feel good. Feel good. Feel
220? Are you up a
brolic.
little bit? Yeah, brolic. Yeah,
Trying to get
brolic. Which
brolic,
is a real
man.
term. Which is a real
I'm
term.
at, I'm
It's a
at
real
220.
term.
Yeah, yeah.
I did not believe that term was real for quite some time, but it is real. Still sounds like broccoli. I just say buff. I'm old school. I say buff. Like this is me. This is old man buff. I'm doing my flexing. Oh, nothing gay about this at all. But brolic. I'm feeling pretty good myself. I'm trying to focus on getting my weight down a little bit. Today I'm back on mushroom coffee and I'm fasting more and I'm eating a lot of canned fish. Have we talked about the canned fish before?
I'm starting. I'm going back to intermittent fasting as of today. As of 8
As
p.m.
of
today,
today?
I'm gonna restart my intermittent fasting. Yeah, as of today. So
No,
8
intermittent
p.m.
fast.
today, I'll start. I decided that I'm gonna start my intermittent fasting today.
So what time? What's your time frame? 16-8 combo, 16 hours fasting, 8 hours eating.
I'm gonna start low. I'm gonna start 8 p.m. and then I'll break my fast tomorrow at noon. So what?
Okay. I think that's actually 15 hours. But I do 1 to 8, but I hear you. That's fantastic. I think it's the way to go, and I think it's the
16.
way to go, especially
That's
for guys.
16.
16, it is 16? Okay, there we go. Check
Yeah,
us out
it's
on Math Internet.
16
I
hours. I
think
just
it's the
did the
way to
math.
go, man. I think it's the way. How long are you going to
11,
try to do
12.
it? You're going to maintain it for, you got a goal, and how long you're going to do it?
Well, I get just 5, 10 pounds. Just 5, 10 pounds. I just want to get to the 215. I'm okay with that. But
Okay,
when
so
I
you have a
could
weight goal. It's not really a
get
time
down to
limit.
210
Then
again.
when you get to your goal weight, you're going to stop.
No, it's just the way I look. I like the way I look at. I like the way I look at 210, 215. That's the way I like the way I look at 210, 215. So, my
No,
dream goal of 195, I already reached that goal back in November. So I know I can do it. So I'm not. That's not my. I like the way I look at 210,
no, but I'm saying as far as
215
the
ish, 210.
fasting, you're going to keep with the
Yeah,
fasting until that,
until
or
I
you're going
reach
to keep going.
that, and yeah, until I reach that goal, and then I'll try to maintain. Yeah,
No, there you go. So I think the fasting works for me to maintain, and it's now it's just a lifestyle choice to me. I love it now. Now I like the feeling of being hungry because I know it's
sure.
working for me. I like that autophagy thing that happens where you start eating your bad cells first. Even though I just saw Project Hail Mary, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, where they kept talking about the autophagies, or what's it called? The little life forms he found that was eating the planet, and it's the same as autophages,
Sure.
same thing we go through. And I think that's maybe where it's from, actually, because you go through a version of that in your own cells, and they're talking about cells eating the sun, so it's kind of good. And now we can go to a pop culture
Yeah.
minute. I actually enjoyed that movie. Saw it with the wife
That
and the
movie's
kid the other day. It was
fantastic.
actually very good.
That movie's fantastic. I wanted to watch that movie in theaters because I was working so much. I was not able to see it in theaters. And then I saw it unfortunately on my phone. Space movie. I knew that the visuals, right? Like it's a visual movie as well as a well written movie. It's also I knew it was going to be a visual movie, so I held off about a week to watch it. But man, when I watched it, it was so good. It was beautiful. I mean, I had my mouth like literally watching my looking at my phone. I had my mouth open as he was doing a spacewalk. But it was just I was just other level like blown away, dude. It was
Oh, the
amazing,
first
amazing.
spacewalk,
No,
because
not
he
the
gets
first
really good
one. The
at
one
it.
where he's
He does
with
a
by
lot
the
of them.
by the planet, by the one where he was the one where he was
Oh,
the one where he was good, the one that he got by the planet that he said, "I'm just taking a moment."
oh, I'm just taking a
It
moment.
was good.
Yeah. No, it was good. I thought the movie was well done, especially since it's mostly Ryan Gosling by himself with a rock. Even though I love the flashbacks, and underrated character is the girl from the AT&T commercials. She plays the Russian. She dies in the movie, and I know she has a real name, which we should probably learn.
I didn't even AT&T commercials.
Isn't it AT&T? The girl she
She
usually
played
works.
the Russian. I didn't
She's the
realize.
Russian. She's the
I
Russian. She's the Russian that dies.
Yeah.
The girl who's famous from the
I
commercials. She's kind of well
Okay.
endowed,
I did not
cutish, cute. Um,
recognize her as a Russian. I didn't recognize her.
yeah, she does the accent and everything. Damn, she's a talented actress. She's
I
good.
shout out to Ryan. You believe is smart, which I thought was pretty
Wait,
impressive.
shout out to who? I missed it. It's
And
breaking up a little
I
bit.
know
We
that's
might have to redo this.
Ryan Gosling, man. Ryan Gosling portrayed somebody who we believe is smart. Again, not a shot at Ryan Gosling. And
Damn.
by smart, I mean like a scientist level smart, like a genius. You know.
Yeah, but that's acting.
So
That's
again, but
acting.
he's so good looking that
Oh,
do we really believe that he's also a genius? Do we really
oh.
believe that he's that good looking and a genius? Like that's
I don't
other
think it's
level,
quite.
man. And but he did the acting was so well. Did you like? Oh, okay, yeah, I believe it.
No, I hear you. No, I'm dating myself, but it's not quite Denise Richards being a nuclear scientist in one of the James Bond movies, which was ridiculous, and that really happened. But I get what you're saying. When
Yeah,
it's a good-looking
yeah.
person, and sometimes it's not always believable. Like, I actually had a harder time, tell you the truth, buying that he was a middle school teacher. But I guess that's part of like, okay, he talks about that one
Well, part of that
relationship that failed with
that's
that
actually the
girl,
most
and I'm like,
believable part of that movie. The most
oh,
believable part is
to
that
me, but okay.
once you get blacklisted from your industry, you go into
You go into teaching?
yeah.
No, but I mean, they
Like
kind
it
yeah, I
happens with
mean, that article did kinda blacklist them.
it happens with
Bad.
comics all the time. How many
Oof. Choppy Choppy, baby. We're on like a episode of Chopped. I knew he's probably still talking though. I guess you can hear everything I'm saying.
I'm not. I stopped talking. I
Oh,
could hear everything you're saying.
see,
I'm
okay.
just on the delay.
Yeah, a little delay. But I thought it was a good movie, well done. I like Rocky. I thought it was a little sad that he didn't want to go home more, but I guess what's to go home to? You know, I
He
guess it'll
has
take a
everything that
while.
he has everything that he had at home there.
Yeah, true. Did it
He
teach
had
a
this
little
class,
rockling?
right? He
Yeah,
had
teach
true
a little
friend in
rockling.
Rocky.
Yeah.
So
You think I mean they didn't really talk about all the sex thing. He's kind of a
he has
young
the ocean.
male
He has
still.
the ocean.
Yeah. But don't you think he kind of maybe wants sex? You know, maybe. He's kind
I
of
think
young.
I, I think
Kind of young to retire his penis for the rest of his life.
yeah.
For his whole life. Like the whole
Well, if the
he's
vice
not fucking a rock. He's not gonna fuck a rock.
if the vice president could fuck a couch, he could fuck a rock.
Okay. Couch is a little more giving, a little more pliable. But yeah, we do have a couch fucker in the office. That's true. He also, he's got that dark thing going on with his eyes to where he always looks like he wears eye makeup, which is always so weird to me. And I guess if you're, nothing against people who wear too much eye makeup, but when it looks like it's like,
He does wear eye makeup. He does.
is it actual eye makeup?
Yeah,
No, really?
it's eye
Oh,
makeup. Yeah, yeah.
I want to believe that, so I'm going to believe it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay,
Yes.
political minute. Common Fitness political minutes. Let's talk about gerrymandering really quick because I was opening up with gerrymandering when I was doing my solo podcast. So they just, for audience that knows what gerrymandering is, they just changed a lot of district maps that made it harder for a lot of communities to vote, primarily black communities, keep it real. And they've kind of, like Texas got away with it. And, I just voted in my primary here. It didn't really affect me in Georgia, but I used to be a big your vote counts guy. In fact, I'm still a big your vote counts guy. Voting's important, but now your vote kind of doesn't count as much as that used to in certain states. So, what do you think people should do to combat this? Riot, protest, jumping up and down?
I mean, there's so
I say jump.
many get out into this fucker's out of office. Like it's just one of those things where I don't feel like anything's productive is gonna get done
Mm.
until this guy's out of office. Time undoing all the shit or trying to undo all the shit that this guy has done.
Well, that's the thing, right? The next administration, like God willing, is a sane administration, preferably Democratic would be nice. But like that's what they're gonna have to do like all 4 years. It's just gonna be dismantling all this crap and rebuilding stuff that was already there, which I think takes more than one term to do. It's easy to break shit. It's hard to build stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's easy to break. Breaking's easy. Like with building stuff, like once you dismantle some of this stuff, it's hard to get these people back in. You fired 500,000 people. You don't just grab them
I,
back. The stuff
I'm
that Heck does through
hoping.
the military.
I'm hoping that he. I'm hoping that the next administration. I'm hoping that they start putting implicating further um laws to stop that from ever happening again. Like I'm president. Like I really need that to be a fucking thing.
That'd be nice. Like implement. Well,
Like
I mean,
it'd be nice. Like I think that the fact everybody thought that it was ever gonna happen. Like, oh, why would we ever make that a law if it's never gonna happen?
yep. There's a lot of it's happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with we're supposed to have a Supreme Court as a buffer, but we know how that's going. And then Congress is supposed to be a buffer, but we see how that's going. It's no. But I think I'm more
Limiting
optimistic about.
Supreme Court justices terms. Am I wrong? Am I alone in that?
Oh, that they shouldn't be a
I think that's
lifetime
pretty
appointment,
crazy that it's a life sentence.
life sentence. That's
Yeah,
funny.
man.
It's
I
our
mean,
life sentence. It's
everything
their
like
lifetime
like you
appointed.
gotta
It's our life sentence. Yeah, I hear you.
you yeah, you got to talk about like cognitive. You got to cognitive. You've dealt with senior citizen parents. Like your mind goes, and the fact that you are not allowed to drive after a certain age without taking these tests and without like, why are we allowed? Why are they allowed to be in office?
Hello, people. You slow down as you get older, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, God bless her soul. I mean, I love her to death. She should have retired earlier in a place when she could have actually, Obama could have done something. But I think that was part of her thing. She may have not been cognitively slow, but she didn't think past her ego, and I don't think she's an ego-driven person. I think she would have rationally said, I should step down if she was a little bit younger, but I think she was at the point where she was like, no, I can do this, and pushed forward. And we should admire that, but it was actually a bad decision
Didn't
that kind of led
retire.
to.
I thought that she didn't retire earlier because she didn't want Trump to fill that seat with a Republican.
When
I
it was
thought
Trump,
that was the
yeah,
thing. Maybe I'm
she
wrong.
should have retired with Obama, and then that's what happened. Like he asked, like he talked about it, so like she said no. So I mean, don't get me wrong. Is she to blame? No, but the Supreme Court is strategic. You kind of have to think about it because now Trump somehow got to pick 3 judges. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really like that, and that's bad timing. Like this dude got to pick 3, and they get to be there forever, and they're young, they're the young. Biden got 1, Ketanji Brown Jackson, but wait, Trump got 2. Sorry, Trump got 2. So yeah, but I think the term limits would be nice. But I think we should also expand the Supreme Court. It should be more people. For as important as stuff they do, I think 12 people would be nice. You know, I guess you need a tiebreaker,
Sure.
but
I think that's
but
also a good point. You have 12 if we are judged by 12 of of our our people, we are judged by 12 when we go to trial. If then why aren't 12 judges making that decision?
it's true, and it's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That's in a rap song somewhere, but I'm not sure. But Comedyfitness podcast, talk about
That's
workout
in many
trends.
rap songs. That's in many.
Probably, well, my background, as you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, is in gangster rap because of how gangstery and rappy I am. But yeah, it wasn't a lot. Probably, I think I remember Ice Cube saying it, but Ice Cube, he gets credit for a lot of
Yeah.
rap. We talked about Ice Cube before. He's good and bad in his own way. But now, bizarre workout fails. Like, so you're better about this. You follow all those fitness trends on TV. You just lifted your wife. Okay, I saw you lift your wife.
In my algorithm, I don't really
Yeah. Well, yeah, you
follow
don't follow them; they follow you.
them, but yeah.
Right. But you just lifted your wife. And what was that one
Right.
called? The shoulder
Sit on
dislocation.
shoulder, sit on shoulder. Uh You know, yeah,
Yeah.
man. I lifted my arm on the wall,
Yeah, I saw that.
and
And that was to do
yeah,
what?
yeah. First try, I was actually surprised. I was actually surprised that was the first try. Because you see other people doing it, other people trying it and failing, and I think the fails they get more clicks. Fail. I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, oh, we should have pretended as if it wasn't gonna happen,
You should have
and then
dropped
get
your
on,
wife for views. Just so we're clear, you should have dropped your wife for views. Just so we're clear.
or not been able to lift her, whichever
No.
one to accomplish.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
my ego
Mhm.
wouldn't. My ego didn't even let me think of that. My ego was like, I'm gonna fucking lift this motherfucker. Yeah, man.
No, yeah, you
You
did. That
you
motherfucker being your wife. Jesus
should
Christ.
do a lot of these. Think I think a lot of these trends, a lot of them, like the can you sit up with your arms to your side thing? Can you sit up
I did
just
that.
from a that thing? Yeah, a lot of these things I think you would be good for, and I send them to you because I think I mean, hey, this is where is like these.
I know I've done some. I'm not lifting my wife up because she's tall. But I did some of the other ones. I did the one where you came up with the weights and then the bending down. And I got some more coming down the pipe, but I'm not gonna, but I like you sending them to me because I need those challenges. I don't see them all. We should make one up. What we need to do is make one up.
There's a challenge
Let's do a
I sent you
comedy
the other
fitness
day. I think it was yesterday that I sent you of
challenge.
this lady. She went down on her to her knees, folded
This
into
starts off well.
you know
Mm, sorry, pervert.
it's yeah, and then extends her legs, and then she retracts her legs, and then stands back up, all while having her hands behind her head.
Oh, that sounds like hostage rescue.
And I
That
thought
sounds like
this would be good to be able to do it. That's all core. All these things are core related, and I don't have any of that. So the
yeah, Corey.
shoulder
But
thing I
that's
can
one of the
do
things we're
because that's
working.
all upper body. I could do that, but
Core training changed my life. In fact, it was the ball. I remember when the ball. I'm old. I remember when the ball came into the gym, and I thought it was ridiculous. I'm like, why do we have a large ball in the gym? And then the trainer took me to the side and she said, "Yeah, stop talking." And then we worked out on the. She says, "Get that on it." And then I'm like, "Oh, okay." And it literally changed my life because I had never been sore like that with doing crunches or normal abs. I love the ball for abs for core. The ball. I love the ball. The ball. The ball. The ball. I have several balls. I have two balls in my house. Haha. And I think it's one of the biggest things I use. Yeah, probably one of the biggest tools I use. Push-ups on the ball, sit-ups on the ball. I use the
yeah,
ball at the bench.
I
I love the bench.
actively on my workout app. I actively tell them to not put anything with the ball related.
Ooh, ouch. Okay, why? So you
Like
are you
I went into
anti-ball?
the settings of my workout app. I went into the. I just think yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's not fun for me. I don't like
It'll
it
change
doesn't
your
feel like a
core.
real workout. And I'm not care about core. Like none of that, like I get
Yeah.
it.
It's
I
important. I think
I
yeah, fuck
definitely
this ball.
believe that cores. I just don't care about core strength. It
Oh, it's
doesn't.
coming. Core strength cares about you, Neri. Core strength cares about you. You don't
Yeah.
care about core strength cares about you.
If you
Whatever you
just
tell me.
if you just do everything else, if you do all the other workouts around the core will get there slowly but surely. You'll get there eventually.
Well, truthfully, if you do other exercises correctly, you're using your core. If you do
Yeah.
lunges correctly, you're using your core. If you do push-ups correctly, you're using your core. If you do pull-ups correctly, you're using your core. Now, should you work your core out strategically? And yes, but I mean, yeah, you're indirectly if you have proper form, you are engaging your core. So yeah, core. But I think but this is what we should
That's what
do.
I'm
We
saying.
have to
That's what
come
I'm
up
like. I'm
with
like,
but we got to come up with one. We got to come up with one of these challenges that has something to do solo. It's got to be something that one person can do. It's got to be difficult but not impossible. and I think it should involve as little equipment as possible. That way people can replicate it. But I think that's our goal for the next week. I'm on a ship next week, Oasis. I think I'm gonna put out. I think that's gonna be my goal. One, we're gonna do something. We'll figure it out. Comedyfitness. That's our goal for the next week. All right, Comedyfitness. We
Yeah.
gotta check out. You're not a big prepper, I know, and I know I'm a little more gunny than you are. But what are your ideas about the apocalypse, and how long do you plan to survive? I've been thinking about the apocalypse more lately. If it was
Yeah, I don't think
apocalypse,
about any of that stuff, man.
no.
My wife calls me a golden retriever, and I'm just rainbows and sunshines, baby.
Oh, your wife calls you a golden retriever. Oh, okay, let's spend some time on that. Because of your long flowing locks, or mostly
She
because
does.
your sunny disposition?
It started. It started when we were in bed one time and we were having pillow
Oh,
talk, and she said,
okay. Here we go.
"Oh, you know how sometimes you think about something so much that you think about something so much before you go to sleep that you have anxiety and it stops you from going to sleep." Like she said it like that. Like, "Oh, do you know how sometimes you do this?" And I go, "No." But go ahead. And then she's like, "What do you mean no?" And I said, "Well, no, I don't. I've never. I like I was like, let's get to the point. Like, what were you saying?" I was like, "Oh, what are you?" She's like, "Wait, wait, wait," and then she had to stop her point. And she was like, "You've never laid in bed thinking about something so much." And then she just stared at me blankly for maybe 3 or 4 seconds, and then she said, "Is it all rainbows and sunshines in your head?" And I said, "Pretty much." And she said, "You're like a golden retriever." And that's what she calls me. She calls me a golden retriever. She's like, "You're all happy." But I don't have anything. I don't have anxieties of any kind. I don't do that. That's not again,
I
and
think
I'm
that
not bragging. I'm just saying I can relate, is all I'm saying.
I think that's mostly a compliment. But in our friendship, I've realized there's a lot of things like that with you, Neri. That you're different in a good way. You're different.
I don't know.
Most people,
And I
most
say
people are trapped
we've
by
talked
their
about this
anxiety.
before. We've talked about this before. I don't think I'm different. I think there's
Of
a
course,
lot
you
of
don't.
people like me. I just think that we don't talk
Mhm.
about those things with a lot of people. We don't. How deep do
Mhm.
we get? Like you and I have had deep conversations, philosophical conversations. You and I have had a lot of philosophical conversations. How many people have we do we have those conversations with? And I don't think it's a lot. But I think a lot
Well,
more. I think there are a lot
I
of people
I
like
tend to
me,
bother
but we
people at in elevators about that
just
kind of
don't get
stuff.
there.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the
but
time to
I'm
do
weird.
it, really.
I don't like to talk to a lot of people, but when I do, I ask them weird questions, like strangers in elevators. How do you feel about God? Which I didn't realize scared them as much as it does, because it implies you're about to meet him, and I didn't realize that's how they took it. Like, it's like, hey, how do you feel about God?
Yeah,
Can be taken as a threat, and I didn't think about that until I said it a few times because I thought it was funny, and then I realized, oh, they're they might be in fear of their lives, you know. So now I just say, how do you feel about abortion? Because I'm not, it's not like you're running
of
around just
course.
aborting.
That's
You're
the
not running around
way
just
to go.
aborting. You can't just, you know. But oh, speaking of which, Kind Fitness Podcast, we switch around a lot. We
One of
bounce
my
around.
favorite what
Oh, I'm
go ahead.
listening. What do you know? What are your favorite? I'm listening. I'm a better listener than I
No,
used to.
what one of my favorite things one of my favorite talk. I've done this 3 separate times, and each time it gets the best reaction. When it's somebody extremely tall, I'll just look at them in the elevator and I say, "Hey man, do you play a lot of ping pong?" And that question is so disarming, and they get so thrown off by that, and they
It
go,
does help to have
"What?"
long arms,
And
though, in
I
ping
said,
pong. You're not that
I've
far off.
never." And all three extremely tall people have told me. People always ask me about basketball or volleyball. I've never had anybody ask me about ping pong, and everybody starts laughing. Usually, people start laughing. They start laughing, and I said, "I bet you remember that. Ask him something that not everybody else asked him." Type of deal. But I like the look on their face when they're like, what ping pong? Like it just yeah.
You didn't want to go for the how's the weather up there? No.
No,
You didn't want to
Oh
go
no,
for
I
the what
purposely
TV
go for
play
the other. I
on.
purposely go for
No,
something they've never heard before.
no. Oh, yeah, go for something. Why would you go
Yeah.
totally hack? But I do think that tall people have an advantage in ping pong because of their reach. Makes sense actually to me. I hate the sport, by the way. Fucking hate ping pong. I think it's ridiculous. Like ridiculous. Like it's one of the
I
sports. Like, I didn't like that part of Forrest
mean,
Gump. I didn't like. I didn't want to see Marty Supreme.
I
Not a
think
big
that's
fan of
a.
Timothy Chalamet. Hate
Well,
Timothy Chalamet.
yeah,
Chalamet. Chalamet.
I hate Timothy I hate Timothy Chalamet.
Okay, why do
So
we
I don't
hate
like
him so
him.
much? What's going on? Why do we hate him so much?
I'll be honest
Why
with
do
you.
I hate?
There's a
Why do I hate him? I
episode of
do.
my podcast, What's Up, Bro? I
Oh,
think Timothy Chalamet is a fine act. I think he's okay. He's okay. He's just fine. He's whatever. I don't think he's great, and I don't understand why he's getting all these accolades. This was 2 years ago, and everybody called me crazy. Everybody was like, "You're crazy."
I think he's been
He's the
shit
one of the
since
best actors.
Interstellar.
I'm like, I don't even remember him in Interstellar, but
That's why my
whatever.
joke is. That's what the joke is. Because apparently
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff ended on the cutting room floor.
So I don't think. I think everything he's been in is fine. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not calling him a bad actor. I just don't think he's a great actor. And there are even good, even from good to great. There's a lot of different levels of that. And I don't think he's even. I think he's just a fine actor. He's fine.
He
There's
keeps
never been
doing
a.
movies I don't care about. I don't care about
th-
ping pong. I've never been into Dune. Um, the only one I didn't even I wasn't even really at Interstellar. Everybody likes Interstellar way more than I like it. And then I hated
I
Willy
s-
Wonka,
I
and I
saw
like Willy Wonka.
Dune. I saw Dune, and I thought Dune was really cool, but in spite of him, like I don't think Dune was cool because of him. Like Dune is just a cool movie because it's a big movie. But it
The
was a
lore is
cool movie. But
interesting,
I
but
didn't
Dune
care
is a
for
little
him. It wasn't
more.
like,
No,
and
I hear you.
I never saw his Wonka. I never saw his Wonka
Oh well,
because fucking Johnny Depp did it already. Why do
Johnny
I gotta go
Depp,
watch
Gene Wilder, bro.
it again?
Gene Wilder, bro.
It
Johnny Depp,
you know.
Gene Wilder, bro. Gene Wilder killed it. Gene Wilder played serious. You thought those kids might actually be dead. Whereas
Okay.
Johnny was a little cartoony with the "Hey, how are you?" Which I get it. You made it his own. But Gene Wilder, there was a chance those kids died. That's what I like. There was a little harsher tone. Like, where's Veruca Salt? Veruca's gone. I mean, she shows up at the end, but at the time, you're
Yeah.
like, I think she's dead. Did they just drown that little annoying girl who was annoying?
I I I never thought that the kids were dead. But again, I'm
Oh,
a golden retriever, so I
oh,
gotta,
Jesus Christ! Is anybody
I
got
saw the
in there?
Sopranos.
Oof.
I saw the Sopranos for the first time like 3 or 4 years ago. And at the end, I it took me probably a year and many people, including the creator of the show, telling me that Tony died for me to believe that Tony died. I didn't believe that he died
Well,
at
they
the
didn't show
end.
him dying. They just, but
They didn't
did the
show him
family
die,
die?
so in my mind,
Mm,
so
he should have
in,
died.
so
He's a
I didn't
gangster.
see him die. So in my mind, he didn't die. But I wasn't even trying to be like, well, I refuse to believe that. It never entered my head that he died, that he was killed. It never entered my head until about 8 months later. So I kept, because once I find something, even if it's something really old, especially if it's something really old, I start doing deep dives. Like I watched Full Metal Jacket for the first time in its entirety a couple of weeks ago, and I started doing deep dives on the movie, like finding behind the scenes and finding interviews. And I started doing that with The Sopranos 4 or 5 years ago when I watched it and for the first time. And 8 months after finishing it, I saw the creator of the show talked about that he
David
died, and
Chase.
I was like, "Oh, okay." But again, that thought never entered my head. Yeah, that thought never entered my head until it was force fed to me. I was like, I just don't think that way. So I never thought that the kids in Gene Wilder's uh, Wonka died. I never even never entered my head.
But some of those kids deserve to die. Kind of like a lot of the Sopranos characters. None of them are very redeeming. That most of them and it should have died. I think Meadow, because even Carmela wasn't awesome. Tony's mother was freaking awful. All the gangsters were bad. You
Oh,
know,
she was, yeah.
they were pretty bad.
There was
But
one guy who wasn't bad. You remember he wanted to retire? Do you remember that guy who wanted to retire and they ended up
no,
killing
he
him
won.
because he
No, he
wanted to
won. They went
retire?
to. Yeah, he got that settlement from his mom or something like when
Yeah,
the mom died. Yeah,
yeah, he wanted an inheritance. He wanted an
they killed
inheritance
him.
and he wanted to retire. And they were like, cool, 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 cool. And then they killed the guy. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, they killed him. And even gave Tony some of the money. But see, okay, I get it. It's a very popular show, and my unpopular opinion is like I was never into The Sopranos because it's just about bad people, and I get it. A lot of shows are, but I find those shows hard for me. Like whether it's
The
Sons
shows
of
that I find
Anarchy
hard.
or that,
So
I find
with
that hard for me because there's no one to root for. I can't root
Mr.
for anybody.
Robot was like that with me.
I didn't get to
Mr.
Mr.
Robot,
Robot.
I watched like 5 episodes. I watched maybe five. I think it was like 4 episodes, and I go, everybody here sucks. I want everybody here to die. I don't like
Right?
anybody here.
Everybody
I don't like
sucks.
anybody here.
Everybody's
But
bad.
with the Sopranos, the thing with the Sopranos is that there were shades of black. It wasn't all. They weren't all. They weren't all.
Tony loved animals, right?
There
They
were a
weren't
lot of
all
people who were
monsters.
just complete trash. Family, he legitimately loved his kids. That's a real
Eh,
thing. As a father, I could relate to that. You could relate to him loving your kids and still being like a bad person. So I don't know, man. The
yeah, I
shade
don't know.
is all shady.
People love the Sopranos. But I've also think there's something unique in American society where we really, really, really like I guess idolize the Italian mob as gangsters, whereas in general we kind of look down on crime, especially when other cultures do it. But for some reason, La Cosa Nostra, the idea of the mafia, is very romantic to people, even though these are just thugs that beat people up and kill people and take their money. But as opposed to like
Also, the
the
Irish. Also,
triads or
the Irish.
every race or minor group has a mafia, but the Italian one is like kind
No,
of
but
cool.
yeah, but the Irish one
Yeah.
also gets that representation in Hollywood. That Irish
Well,
mob
yeah. The
also
Irishman and
gets
then
that
what's his
cool
face?
representation. But
Whitey
I
Bulger.
always,
That was a
yeah,
good one. That
Whitey's
was
great.
actually
So I always had
on
the
the lam for 27 years. He was on the lam for
yeah,
they caught him because of his girlfriend's or wife's breast implants. Isn't that
in
amazing?
San Diego. In San
Yeah.
Diego.
Yeah, he's living in California, like barely hiding. If you're in California, you're barely. I guess it's a numbers game. You're kind of hiding in plain sight, but like not good for him. He's an evil guy, but like, dude, he was free for a long time.
San Diego. Who knows what that stands for? Who knows what that means? But still, yeah, it's
Yeah.
I like
What does San Diego
I
mean?
always
Oh,
it's a line from Anchorman.
oh,
But way to be up on pop
no,
culture
yeah, no,
references.
Anchorman. I
But
was pretty baked during Anchorman. Go on, I
uh
didn't see it.
there is I always give that logic of like people going like, oh, snitches get stitches. And I'm
Mm.
um, like I think we need informants. Like these people broke the law. Like I don't understand this ideology of like, oh, he's a rat. Like what? You mean
Yeah, snitches
he
get
brought
stitches
a
and
murderer to
shorter
justice?
sentences.
Like
Yeah, snitches
yeah,
get stitches and shorter sentences. Like, yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
get it. There's a certain amount of camaraderie. Like, oh, hey, I never gave up my guy or whatever. I'm like, you did 25 years, but
Yeah, that's not
good
again.
for
If
you.
you never gave up your guy for stealing a car, I could. That's kind of cool, I guess. But like, if you're protected, like that's not. We're not talking about the same thing here, bro. We're not. This isn't the same
That
thing.
that's a lot of that's. I don't know. I don't want to go to prison very long. It seems to be no matter what your crime is, that seems to be an excessive amount of rape for helping other people out to make sure they didn't go to jail. It just seems to be excessive. Whereas one is too many. No. Now, Common Fitness
I
podcast,
mean,
we
you
got to
don't
talk about.
take it
Go, go.
easy.
Oh, no, you first. But
No, I was saying. By the way, have you been watching? Did you watch that documentary on Netflix, The Crash?
The Crash. Ooh, no. Who crashed?
It's a documentary about Mackenzie Shrilla,
Oh, I should
the
know Mackenzie Short.
girl, the
Mackenzie Short.
17-year-old. Yeah, she killed. She drove her car into a
Oh,
building at almost 100 miles an hour, and she killed her boyfriend and her friend in the car. She did it on
my
purpose.
wife
She
made
got
me
sentenced to
watch.
murder.
Yeah, my wife made me watch a big chunk of that. So how do you feel about that? I had to watch a big chunk of that.
Uh,
I forgot it was called The
I
Crash.
didn't know anything about that story, so my algorithm is exercise trends and 49ers and puppies. Like that's really what my algorithm is. And then I'll get some anti-Trump shit, which is life. But as far as pop culture is concerned, this girl did not pop into my feed. The story didn't pop into my feed. The story took place in 2022. The
Yeah.
trial took place in 2023. I did not hear about it until last week, like three or 4 days ago, because of the documentary. And yeah, she seems like an evil fucking. I mean, it's her parent. I blame her parents because her parents. If you
Dude,
watch the documentary, her parents are shit parents.
I think
Shit
that
parents.
documentary all about bad parenting, and I think it gives a really, really bad name to pot and mushrooms, which do not make you do crazy things. They do not.
I don't think I
But
don't.
the
As
parent
somebody
bad
who does,
parenting makes you do crazy things.
yeah. I don't think that documentary did anything. I think they explained the documentary showed you how she was used to driving high, and
Yep,
that driving high does not make you drive fast. They
not
explained
usually.
that in the documentary, and so I think
Mm.
that, and she had no mushrooms in her system, and I think they did a good job of explaining that. So they explained the way they got rid of that urban myth of like, oh, she was high, and like, no, no, she wasn't. So I think that I disagree with you in the sense of like it made pot and mushrooms look bad. I think it did. I didn't do good for pot and mushroom, but I think it cleared it. Like,
That's what I
no, pot and
mean.
mushroom doesn't make you kill
You
somebody.
no,
That's
it does not.
bad parenting.
No, it does not. But I also think that so I mean, I know she got convicted of murder, but it would have been a suicide too. Like she was like
Two counts.
so yeah, no, and I really feel bad for Davion because his family, that was rough. Because like they adopted this kid. It's all rough. It's all bad. You know,
That
children
was
dying.
rough.
But like she was trying to kill herself. She was obviously like not an awesome girlfriend, but like she was trying to kill herself, and I think it was more suicide, and she just had these two
I
people
don't think
along with her.
I don't think she was trying to kill herself. I just
You
don't
thought she
think.
was
I
going to be
think
okay
that
after that accident? Maybe she was though. She
I
was okay.
think
She was okay. Well,
at 17 she didn't think that far ahead. I think I'm gonna fuck this
I
guy up.
yes,
I'm gonna run into the
yes,
wall, and then
and I think yes,
she doesn't think that far. She didn't think, oh wait, I'm also in the car. She just thought I have my seatbelt on, and maybe he doesn't work. Maybe he was one of those guys that never wore his seatbelt. When you're 20.
yep.
Maybe
And
who knows?
when I also think like, come on, they're kids. I think first of all, I've been in cars like that where like, okay, the only person soberish is the driver. Like one of the kids was probably laying down in the back. The other one was probably like, and then you get to an accident like that. And I think
Yeah.
she just did the whole like yelling at him and like, okay, I'll show you. Because I think we've all had heated conversations in a car, but normal parameters tend to calm things down and people go like that. But I mean, shoot, I think I was even in one accident when people were arguing, but it was a swerve to Geostorm. People were arguing. We swerved to miss a cat, and then from that day forward, I always said I will hit an animal instead of swerving. I made
Well,
a decision that day.
my driver's ed teacher used to say, um, that you have to keep driving. You have to, in fact, you have to put the gas. You have to put if there's an animal that crosses your path, you can't stop, you can't swerve, you have to keep going. The faster you go, the better the better chance of you surviving that crash. If you swerve, you're gonna fuck yourself up.
Now you can't
Like my
swerve.
my
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you
learned
can't
from an
swerve,
accident. That's good. That's good.
you can't stop. Yeah, so that
You got to get through.
my driver's ed teacher said that all the time. He was like, just keep going. I've hit I ran
several
over an
animals since
alligator.
then because of that.
I
Keep
ran
going.
over an alligator. I just kept going.
Fuck. I got to be honest. I might aim at an alligator. That's like one of those bad animals. Like I might aim. Like we got deer in
Well,
my
I did it.
neighborhood.
I was going 80. I was going 80
Fuck,
down a one-way road. It was one way each way, and it
Jesus,
was literally at
Leadfoot.
like midnight, 1 o'clock midnight, 1 o'clock at night type of deal down Alligator Alley. And by the time I saw the alligator, by the time I saw the tail, because I ran over the back part of its body. By the time I saw it, it was too late. If I would have stopped, I would have fucking really. I might not have been here today. So by the
Oh
time I
wow.
saw it, I was like, "We got to keep going."
What'd
Just and I
you
ran
say?
over it and went boop. No, I went
I love
boop
that
boop,
part
and
when you like
then
you hear
the
that.
undercarriage, the undercarriage got really messed up afterward. I had to take it to the shop. I had
Oh,
to call
really?
insurance.
No.
That's the thing.
They're very tough animals. But hey,
Yeah, man.
Congress podcast, we
Alligators
got to
aren't
wrap it up
small, dude.
soon. Well, they're
They're
large
tough
alligators.
animals.
You live in Florida, bro. I mean, it was probably an alligator on meth that just finished voting badly after it escaped from, well, maybe not Cuba.
It's true.
All right, Comedyfitness podcast. Got to wrap it up a little while. It's been fantastic having you, bro, because I need you. Oh, two things. Oh, you know what? Comedian therapy. We're gonna go over that in the next podcast. But like, we got to end with fitness. We're highlighting forearm strength this week, and we've already talked about forearm rest carries, and I think they're the most important as far as forearm strength. But what are you, Nary Signs, doing for forearm strength?
So I did farmers carries the other day. I carried 90 pound dumbbells in each arm, and I did 3 sets. One of them for 48 seconds, the other one for 43 seconds, and then the other one for 39 seconds, I think it was.
Okay.
Um,
How much weight?
so I did that at 90 pounds in each arm, 90-pound dumbbells each arm.
Nice.
And then what I'm starting to do now is I have this pronator tool that you attach a dumbbell to, and it's for your elbow, but it incorporates the whole forearm. So I'm starting to do that. Yeah,
Okay. A
forearm is another muscle that I never individually worked out,
lot of
but
people
now that
don't.
I
That's what I'm
have
talking about.
golfer's
It. A lot of people
elbow,
neglect it.
I, but now that I have golfer's elbow, that really does help in those ligaments we need.
Yep. The forearm work can really help shoulder injuries and forearm injuries and not forearm injuries and elbow injuries. So yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah. I try to change position on the push-ups. I do the push-ups with the knuckles, and then I used to do fingers, but I'm doing more. And then I just have a good old-fashioned hand exerciser because of all the shooting sports I try to maintain proficiency at. I do a lot of strength training like that because my grip personally is always been a little weak for my body size, and it's something I've always had to work on. But I have freakishly long forearms for a man my size. They should be kind of shorter and bigger. So, and I have dainty wrists. I have very dainty wrists. I didn't realize I had dainty
Good
wrists
size
until I was
wrist.
other people. I have very dainty. I think you have normals. Yeah, I'm pretty dainty when it comes to my wrists. So I'm trying to get less daint, so more forearm stuff. But we always end with the big plug, man. What are you plugging, bro? What you got going on?
Well, I am making a big push on my social media post content, like picking up my wife over my shoulder, like movie reviews. I'm posting another video in like 10 minutes from the time of this recording, to complete my top five movie biopics. And I did a part one, and now I'm doing a part two. I'm releasing a part two in a couple minutes. And
Okay.
my YouTube, I'm engaging in my YouTube a lot more. So do me a favor, follow me on Nary Science Comedy on my YouTube. So
You heard him, follow him at Nary
that's my
Science
plan.
Comment at his YouTube. Um, uh, I know you got your podcast. You got a What's Up Bro coming out too. New What's Up Bro.
What's up, bro? Yeah, everything is on my YouTube. So my YouTube is on I also released a podcast, the audio version. I also released them everywhere you listen to podcasts, which is called What's Up, Bro. So you could do that on my YouTube. Everything is at Nary Science Comedy. But my podcast is called What's Up, Bro. We shorten it to Woo Bro, WUBRO. And
Who, bro?
it's kind of like if Ric Flair was saying bro. Like,
Woo,
bro.
bro. I like Ric Flair. He always seemed like a nice guy. For some reason, when I think of Ric Flair, I think of candy bars, which I think might be odd. But got nothing normal to play. I want like everybody, please like and subscribe. There are more podcasts coming out. We're working hard on this. And follow me on Instagram. Everything's at Comedy Fitness. My name is Don Gray, but everything is at Comedy Fitness. In fact, if you see me in public, just say Comedy Fitness. I'm okay with that. All right. On behalf of everybody, remember, please, God, laugh your ass off. All right, man. Love you, brother. Talk to you soon,
Love
man.
you, man.
All right.
Peace.